Hey everybody, it's Chance here with yet another episode of Pathologic. Last time we finished day 11 of the Horror Specs route. Well, we finished all the quests. We didn't finish the day yet, but the plan is to do that shortly anyway, so. But basically, day 11 was our final task from Oyen. Where, he was like, go into the hole, and when you get out, we'll talk as equals, and you will be worthy. Everyone's done this before, by the way. Your father has done it too. Took him a little late, but he did do it. And you're like, okay, I will do that. And so we jump into the hole, and then we die. Is what would happen if, prior to this, we talked to Clara. Clara sent us a letter being like, hey, you might want to talk to me before going to the abattoir. And so we went to Clara, and she's like, hey, so Oyen is planning to kill you, basically, but I can make sure that doesn't happen. Do you accept my deal? And you're like, yeah. We're like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And she's like, cool. I will offer something to you tomorrow then. Bye! And we're like, okay, bye, Clara. So, also, but due to talking to Bachelor, Big Vlad, and Aspity, we knew that Oyen killed our father. And Aspity also basically intimated that Oyen would try to kill us at this point, and that basically at the end of the day it would have to be a fight between us two. But because I was kind of curious, because it does seem that that quest kind of ends with you being like, you killed my father, and he's like, so what are you going to do about it? And then you kick his ass. But I decided I wanted to do the aspect of the Clara quest because it seemed more interesting, and it was. So we jump into the hole and instead of dying, we agreed, but instead of dying, getting back to where we started, we see a bunch of executors and also a dead body. Judging from what Clara says, this is meant to be like a spirit world or something, because we're supposed to essentially sacrifice one of three women, Anna, Lara, or Yulia. It is interesting how it always kind of comes back to them. This game is really interesting. I'm really curious of what it'll do in Changeling route, because it's like, in all the routes, all the female characters are important, for one reason or another. I mean, all the characters are important, but there's a focus of the story that is specifically on feminine characters or the matriarch and stuff like that. I think we've talked about it prior as well, especially in this route, because we're seeing more of the stuff with the kid, and stuff with Suwak, who is gendered female, and the Urbrides and all of that stuff. It's basically like we are sacrificing ourselves for one of them. It is just making them sick. It is not killing one of them, because then that would make it impossible for you to do Clara a favor, I think. I think she knows that. But she's sort of the Sandpest question mark. And then alongside this, we had two side quests. One of them was about the bull, about Turok. Notkin's like, the bull is gone, so we go to the bone steak lot like we were told to go to the prior day. And the sanitation workers are burning the bull. Burning the bull, question mark, the worms. We see the worms. And they're like, well, Captain Logan commanded us to. We don't listen to Alexander Block, really. Because they seem to be mutineers, so to speak. So we go to Lapin Logan, and Logan's like, Bachelor Yankovsky mentioned it. So we go to Dokhovsky, and he's just like, what did you expect? I am in charge of making sure sanitation is taken care of. It is an infectious source. So it had to be dealt with. Which obviously mirrors the same quest in Bachelor Route where we are told, hey, there's a scene playing out in the Bone Steak lot with the bull. It's unseemly. Immortel tells us. And so we order Block to burn it down. Not to burn it down, just to burn everything there. And it's like, it's, not as clear in that route, in the Bachelor route, I feel like. Like, people are talking about it in a really important way, but in Horror Specs route, it is explicitly like, do you choose the town, which is the bull, or the stake, which is the Malahedron? It's very explicitly that. It is really interesting to me that as it plays out here, Bachelor will do it, like Bachelor always does it. But clearly that's not what happens. It's so interesting, because it does paint... This route really paints Bachelor as, like, a figure that can do anything. That's not 100% true, but, like, he is in a position of power. He is someone from the capital, and I think it also does come out of a sort of respect, because in Bachelor route it was like, do you choose the town or the tower? But Artemi never felt like an adversary in any real way in that route, and I mean, I think I've talked about the tone and everything before as well. But in this one, it's like, there is a sort of, like, we are equals that does not feel as present in Bachelor Route. But at the same time kind of coincides it in a weird way where it's like, no, it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. And, like, I'm glancing at the walkthrough just to see if there are, like, different parameters. So, in order for for us to get to the end in Horror Specs route, we have to completed all of the quests. Period. I think in Dan Kopp's in Bachelor route, you just need to really succeed on certain quests, not even on everything, which is fascinating. This game is so interesting. And then we also had one more quest where we had to go to Khan to tell him about Capella wanting to make an alliance. So we went to Bachelor first before the adversary part. We were like, what's the password to the tower? And he's just like, oh my god, so you agree to hang out with me? And I'm just like, you agree to hang out with me and choose the tower? I knew I convinced you. And then you're like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for telling me the password. I'm going to have things to do with the tower. I'm gonna go save them. I'm gonna talk to them now. Bye! And then leave. He never suspects otherwise. And then we talk to Khan and let him know what's going on. And he's like, okay. Alright. I will accept this because, even though it's it's interesting because it's, again, this is a game very much about the matriarch and, the women in power. But at the same time, it's they're the ones that are talked about. They are really the ones in power. But they are in power of a very specific kind of spiritual and, community-focused and community kind of based connection of the town and that part, which is an insanely, incredibly important part. But there are those also in power that are in charge of the quarantining of the factory, of the town, of the politics, right? Very much a this is a man's job type thing. And by her having to, basically settle down in this town, and to be married to Khan, who is one of the Canes, um, there is this level of, she is inherently smothering herself down to an aspect because it is very it is that very specific idea of like masculine subjugation, um that very specific idea of like misogyny that does exist in the world and has been enacted for centuries. um that is also being played with, which doesn't. I mean, like I think the game is about that to an extent as well. I don't think as like smoothly or as deftly as some of the other stuff, to be fair. But I think you could just do a whole reading on it based on that kind of stuff. But I'm not equipped to do that, so we're not gonna. I'm not gonna really go into it, just also because I feel like it does falter on some of those elements as well. So. Okay. So let's go to bed.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
Excuse me. I've got to read my letters. The final proceedings. Today is the last days. The choice has to be made. The Bachelor. Proof of Agalia's deceit. Agalia Lilich made fools of us all. Both of us were pawns in her terrifying maneuver. That's the way it is. Ask her yourself. Block and I have her cornered. We have completely disarmed her, so she has no choice but to confess. My dear Barak, she is your sacrifice. I don't think it is at all necessary to slit her throat with your own knife, you see. If the town is destroyed, the head of Agalia Lilich will be separated from her shoulders in less than a day. It has transpired that this whole situation affords her a stay of her death warrant. If she presents the town entirely purged of the disease to the powers that be, she is granted pardon. The issue is, it is impossible. The disease has soaked the town. It keeps rising up from the very roots of it. It is doubtly deplorable that when she deceived you, she didn't merely save her life. She pursued her own purpose too, which is to destroy the polyhedron. The disease can be destroyed only if we destroy the town. There is no other option. By your own reasoning, I cannot be wrong about it, can I? Please take this into consideration if you come to the cathedral. Bachelor Dankovsky. Yeah, I think this is also what the game was hinting at. The game was talking about in Bachelor Route. Like, I did not get that kind of same impression, but like I didn't get that. Like, I do believe that like there was some tension between Bachelor and Agalia, but it is not as heavily present. Like here it's like we're getting this letter and it's like he is being so explicit about it. And I mean it's his excuse, right? Like it's I I don't think that, cuz it's like to him, to Bachelor, he feels he was tricked. But like he didn't trick me. She didn't trick me, you know? But also, I do feel like Bachelorette does a good job at showing like Agalia as an adversary in that way, which is fun. On how your precious Agalia Lilich lied to you. Your sacrifice is Agalia Lilich. I don't know how exactly you're supposed to kill her, but there's little doubt that the offering is her. I'm telling you this in the capacity as a true mistress. Treat this as the first of my prophecies. This is the truth. The reason why Agalia Lilich deceived you was that she wanted to save her own life. Don't try to prevent the destruction of the town. By this, the prophecy will be fulfilled and the kin will accept you. Ask her yourself. I doubt she has what it takes to deny it. I don't know who that's from. A letter from Agalia Lilich, tomorrow's council. This is to remind you of the council tomorrow. Commander Block and I have reached an agreement. He will hear out any reasonable suggestion of how the town may be saved. Owing to your efforts, we have a suggestion, don't we? After that, we will hear out the mistresses. The young Oglemitsky girl and Maria Kaina were invited. I guess Katerina will tag along. Are you in any way related to Capella? She says she will lend her support to our cause. Is she all right? We won't be able to resolve the proceedings without the mistresses. They are the guarantee of this town's obedience. Those wielding emergency authority will leave soon enough and the mistresses will remain. It is impossible to keep the town in submission unless the population behaves quiet as to not evoke the ever-present threat of death. P.S. Block doesn't know that we've met or exchanged letters. He also doesn't know of your friendship with Capella. This could be important. I put my trust in you. Yours, A. Yeah, no, because it's like we're gonna choose the town. That's not a question. We're gonna save the town. You know, I like it's so weird. It's like I mean, it's a similar way to where like Agalia tries to be like, "Hey, Artemi, the powers that be lied to you." And we're just like, "I don't care." And it's just like I don't think he does. He would have come here anyway, and he would have chosen the town anyway. He isn't being tricked. It's so interesting that Bachelor thinks that the only reason that Artemi wouldn't choose the tower is if he's been tricked, and it's like, God, he is so up his own ass about his shit. It's crazy.
I'm tired. I've had enough.
So, have you made a decision? About what? It's high time we make choices. As for me, before the military starts firing, I'm packing my belongings and leaving this town, having grabbed some people I want to save. I could have found my own solution, but I don't have the time. What would your solution be? I could make them destroy the settlement along with the Bull Project. Yet the polyhedron would remain. Block assured me he'd fire a strike so precise that the other shore of the Gorkon wouldn't be scathed. The river will swallow the plate, he said. The people will die if we destroy the town. Oh, look around. There is no one left alive except for the two of us. The infected ones don't count. They have less than 24 hours to live in any case. I could at least help them. Really? Then, could you make it so that I could show up at the council and present the commander with arguments in favor of the following arrangement? The corrupt town disappears from the face of the earth, and the polyhedron stays. It's a septic, and damn it, it's simply worthy of preserving. What do you need to do so? Not a lot, but not a little either. I'll come to the cathedral on the condition that I'm certain of the survival of the people to whom I'm about to devote my time. Are you willing to help me there? I'll try to do something. How can I recognize your confidants? I wrote to you about them the other day, but in case you lost that letter, I'll tell you how to spot them. They all want one thing, and that's to preserve the marvelous tower. Nothing else matters to them. Wait for me. Only the bachelor will be able to convince the chess queens that the utopian solution is the right choice. Before he attends the final council in the cathedral, he will have to make sure that his bound are alive. They are Gregory, Victor, and Maria Kaina, as well as Peter and Andrei Stomatin.
Cost what it may.
I'm having chest pain.
Okay. Interesting. Let's go to the theater show first. And then... I don't think any districts are sick. I think, like, everything is just silent. I love that dialogue. There is no one here except for us. It is so interesting how Bachelor doesn't even consider Clara at all. Not to Artemi, anyway. Oh, right, I need to go to the theater performance. I just started walking over there. By habit, I'm going to the trash cans, but I don't need to. I'm curious of how the conversations between Artemi and the powers that be, if they are the ones that are the conversation here, or if it's someone else. I have no clue. But we shall see. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. This game has a lot of ideas that it's playing with and, like, tossing around and everything. I did that. I did that with by habit. So it is, like, so unsettling just how quiet everything becomes as soon as day 12 starts. We have to finish this. Like, there's nothing to play right now.
Whatever you do, you'll have to sacrifice something.
Destruction is inevitable. There's no miraculous way out.
So that's what their thought process is, see? There was nothing to hope for from the start. Each of them should simply fulfill their purpose. At least, we'll see which one works best.
Each of them wants to save that which is dear to them. Perhaps they could get along?
Out of the question. The meeting chamber is tight, with the General sitting at one side of the table and the Inquisitor sitting at the other. Only one of them will decide. The others will die.
Only knowing our fortune in advance could we predict our conduct.
I would have no future if not for you. The cause that I serve could fail without me. Thank you. So what kind of future is destined for you? The town will be rebuilt. We will transfer it to the other side of the river. The land is clean there. No one will disturb us. The polyhedron will become the foundation of a new settlement, just like the abattoir had become one for this doomed settlement, and a new era will set in. I'm afraid this time will never come. We are too few now. I won't succeed by myself, of course. Every person counts. Do you know how many of us have survived? My mission here is not yet complete. There will be enough of you.
My life belongs to my daughter now. She knows what to do. She'll arrange it.
Okay, nothing new from Big Vlad. I mean, it makes sense. He is not abound. Not in... He is one of the few major characters that isn't abound.
It's hard for us to believe in things that lie outside of our scope.
I would not have lived to see today if not for you. Now, if my design works, I will be able to revive the town. I am grateful to you, Warden. I'll never forget it. What is your plan? The outcast children who have left the polyhedron will establish a new town. They will become new mistresses and rulers. They will lay down a new triangle of powers and beginnings. This time, it will stand firmly on its base rather than trying to balance on one of the vertices. Why did you choose the outcasts? It is not a cause, it is an effect. They have left the polyhedron because their fate lies elsewhere. Prisoners of dreams can build, but they cannot rule. Moreover, you have to be resolute, mature, and independent to break free from childhood. Only the most outstanding children can do it. I've heard you wanted to found a new religion. I don't. You still fail to grasp who the mistresses are. So do the children, which is why they keep talking about a religion. Can religion be invented by a man? It is not a game. Yes, it is not a game. Tell me, will you stay with us? Will you rule the kin like your father was supposed to? Yes, I'll stay with you.
There's a peculiar smell on the outside. What is this?
Yeah. There's a lot rattling around in my head. The thing about this game is that it does give you a lot to chew on and think about. Um, Give me that fish. Yum, yum, yum. It's funny every time. Alright. Just want to grab the panacea and schmouters so that I can just start healing people as I go across town as well. I wonder where Clara is, or Clara is. Clara. I know her name's Clara. Is she in the second termitary block? That's where she was in Bachelor Route. But I don't know if she'll be there this time. Probably we'll get a letter from her at 7 o'clock. Alright. Alright. Well, I won't be back here again. Adieu, adieu. Okay, where do we want to go? I mean, we're gonna want to end over here. So let's go over here, talk to Knockin' and Murky. Then we'll talk to Bad Grief, heal Ruben, talk to Ruben after forever. Go around. I mean, we have a lot of time, so we have the whole day, in fact. You know, let's go talk to Grace while we're over here. Let's talk to everybody over here and then travel. Well, yeah, we'll go around this way, travel down, and then over here. Yeah, that makes more sense. So, let's go talk to Grace. Aspity. No, just everybody over here.
My path was called the burden of the living. I just wanted to take care of those who are leaving us behind.
Capella and I owe you so much. I am only alive because of you, aren't I? Tell me, why does Capella need you? I will replace the second mistress. That means Capella thinks I'll manage to. She says I'm shining bright, but unlike hers, my glimmer isn't thick, but rather transparent and very pale. What for? Each of us will tug the power in our own direction. She'll tug a bit upwards, I'll tug downwards. We'll tune life together, opposing each other, like Nina and Victoria before, but not for real. Moreover, I'll help her make the lines into a circle. At least that's my understanding. I hope you'll manage. You know, I didn't think about who would replace Maria. And so it'll be Grace. That's interesting. I mean, there needs to be a mistress of light and a mistress of dark, or a dark mistress and a light mistress. You know, because there was, you know, it was Nina and Victoria. Technically, it's Maria, it's Maria and Capella, but they aren't there yet. They aren't mistresses in that way.
He who distrusts himself is better off silent.
Thank you. I need to live a little longer. There's one more thing that has to be done. My death will not be purposeless now. What kind of thing? I am to perform the most special feat of all, the feat of self-sacrifice. I will do what Simon has done. Every single particle of my body and soul will become life-bearing, bursting with life and granting it to others. There will be no cannon fire. The town will continue to grow. The thread to the future will stretch from the very dawn of time. Do you really believe that it can be done? We are too few now, but if there's at least a dozen of us, it'll be enough for the town to expand further and beyond. Hopefully the place where daydreams are captured and fulfilled will live to see 200 years more. And how many more of those like me would have survived? There will be more of them. And I think all of the other bound will have basically the same dialogue as Mark and Mortel and the same dialogue as Aspity here. I believe. We will... We'll go up. We'll go up here, talk to Taya, talk to Sticky, Peter, Samarovs, and then we'll go back over here. Alrighty.
They never show me anything. They won't let me outside.
I'm alive, and it is you who made it so. Thank you, thank you. Does that mean you'll be helping me from now on? Who told you that? Capella did. You'll become the foreman and the most important person in the kin now. Everyone will follow your words like they did with Dad. And I'll always be by your side so that you know we're all together and that the kin loves you. That's what she promised me. Why are you so happy? You were the only one that they listened to before. What do you think happens now? I'll step aside a bit, but I'll help you and connect you with everybody. I won't bother the new mistresses even though I really want to. It's all Capella's design, even though I don't really get it. And is it she who told you all this? Yes. She also said there will be 4 nodes instead of 3 from now on. The 4th one is me! Standing aside. A bit. Well, I mean, there's always must have been 4 nodes, but nobody noticed that before. I think things will be better now than they used to be. I hope so. Like, Artemi will be the foreman, but... which is an important role, but like the Mother Superior is obviously a really important role. And I think it's true to say that like things will have changed by then. You know, like there kind of always has been a 4th node and it's been the kin. And the foreman, you know. Let me see, is Clara in here maybe? Which was that? Yes, it is!
Neither the town nor the tower have to be sacrificed. Everything can be saved.
See how everything turns out? Who would have thought you have to sacrifice something, either the town or the polyhedron. One of the queens wants to destroy the wondrous tower, while the other seeks to raise it as much as possible just to make sure. Do you have a different solution? I could arrange it so that everything stays the way it used to. If I could get into the cathedral and look the Inquisitor in the eye. But I can't. I have to care for my confidants. They have put my faith in me already, you see. I cannot abandon them now. I'll do my best to help you. How do I recognize your bound? All of them are listed in the letter I sent you several days ago, and they're easily recognizable. The persecuted, the outcast, the villains, the criminals, those whose only shelter is me, the new mistress. Wait for me. I'll take care of your outcasts. Only the Changeling will be able to explain the advantages of her paradoxical solution to the chess queens. Before she attends the final council in the cathedral, she will want to make sure that her bound are alive. They are Bad Grief, Reuben, Aspedy, Anna, Yulia, Lara, Alexander, and Katarina.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
The time is almost up. Soon the barrage will begin. Or soon the barrage begins. Let them shoot. I wish this was over and done with as soon as possible. Okay.
Enough chin wagging.
What would we do without your help? That means you'll be just like your father by the time we grow up. What are you planning to do with your life? I will be the axis for the wheel to spin around, a future ruler with a new sign. I trust Capella. A new sign? What do you mean? The Kano-Glemitsky-Saburov triangle is over. There are no more termites, utopists, or humble. The three powers are gone almost without a trace now. They're nothing but memories now. We need new forces and new signs. The old rulers are gone, except for you. Will you protect our little town until we become of age? What do you stand for? I don't know yet. I didn't have enough time to talk, but I will become a builder to direct Khan and Notkin's ardor. That is what Capella has seen. I wonder which of the two mistresses is supposed to be paired with me. Grace or Murky? Oh, my sides. They're both very nice, but also not much to look at. Are you sure they're alive? Why would you hold Khan and Notkin back? We'll make a new triangle, duh. This tug of war will never end, whether we want it to or not. And I have a hunch that they'll grow up to be commanders and conquerors like Block and Shoin. But I'm already thinking as to what to counter those two war dogs with. Yeah, if the girl is right about you, I'm very curious as to how it all will turn out.
If we the outcast children live, the town will go to the town of men. Capella will entrust us with it. We're the future of this land.
When you come of age, I'll only be in my 40s. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. You mean best like our father by the time we grow up. My father was an old man. When you come of age, I'll only be in my 40s. Yeah, because I think Artemia is canonically 26. Which is also my age, by the way. So it's so funny. It's just been like, wow. I am not that old. I'm also a baby. Anyone who is like at least 10 years older, like 20 years older than me is like, you're a little baby. And I'm like, okay. Very funny. It's like a scandalized. As a joke, I feel like it really feels just like you know. Yeah, like I have taken the mantle. Like I know what he means. It's far more of the I will have become my father. You know, I will have that role in the same way. You know, because like you know, like he has accepted the inheritance of his father completely. However, it will still take time for that to go into effect, as it were, as well. So, hello.
Bad Twirin makes your head wooden. Good.
Okay, nothing new there. Yeah, Ava also didn't have anything.
What has this town turned into? Truly a country of contradictions.
Okay, yeah, yeah, the dialogue is basically the same now. A victim of your carelessness is behind this door. A victim of your negligence of a doctor's duty. Stop barking, beakhead. Here, I have a panacea. Let me in. I'll cure them. Give it to me. It is I who brings them back. Take it.
My path was called the Rat Prophet. I didn't know it was him who spoke to me in my sleep. Till the very end, I thought it was the earth.
Huh. So it was the rat prophet that spoke to her.
Fortune appears so blind to none as to those to whom she has done no good. That was an aphorism.
I would have no future if not for you. The cause that I serve could fail without me. Thank you. So what kind of future is destined for you? The town will be rebuilt. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's not really their dialogue that changes, but sometimes they do have very interesting vocal lines if they properly kick in. Hey Anna, it's been a while. We haven't seen each other for a week.
My path was called the Angel of Death. I'm not sure myself what I used to be in the caravan. Life is hard.
Alright. That's sad. do next?
Where are the orderlies? Those lazy bastards.
So today is the end. At 2200, we're taking the army southeast to the main road. At 2350, we're firing. Your choice will decide where the shells go, Surgeon. The council will be held in the cathedral at 1900. Got it.
If there is enough people like me, the town will stay the same. We'll surrender ourselves to Clara unregretted. A rotten life belongs to the new mistress. I'm really excited to see Clara's route. Like, genuinely, I'm really, really, really excited. What is coming next, though, is that after this, we will be taking a bit of a break, between. I am going to be playing Anthology of the Killer, and then I want to finally sit down to play Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Then we'll come right back to the Changeling route after that. So. Knowing how my stats still go. Like, I still get hungry and tired even though it's literally the last day and it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay, nothing new from her. Alright. So, that is exciting. This game is very, very long. I mean, I guess it is the fact that each route is a playthrough of itself, you know? Like, you are playing a whole game and you could theoretically just like play one route and be like, okay, I'm done. Which is like totally fair. It kind of makes sense why each a route is getting their own game. Like Patho 2 is Haruspex, and now Patho 3 will be Bachelor, and then when eventually a Patho 4 comes out, that will be Clara. I'm excited. I'm interested. I'm really interested in what they of when I play Changeling, my thoughts on it, and like how and how this game. Oh, Maria gets sick. Ooh, but it's interesting. Tis all I must say.
Great souls are not those who have.
Okay, nothing new there. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I haven't talked to Murky, Notkin, Bedgrief, Reuben. Ah, yeah, I meant to go south. I did not do that. Whoopsies!
I need to live some more for the polyhedron to work as it used to. Not for myself, but for another soul. Maria will take care of the rest.
Hey, Victor. What's up? We haven't talked for a while.
The true way to be deceived is to think oneself more knowing than others.
Alright. Oh. Well, I didn't get anything, so... Oh, there we go. The bound of the bachelor are alive and well. May he be comforted by that. He should have enough time to prepare his argument for the proceedings. Alright. So... we won't be able to go inside the cathedral yet. You are too early. The queens will be deciding upon the fate of the remains of this wretched town at 7 o'clock. As for now, the cathedral is closed. I want to speak to Agalia Lilich. She is undoubtedly eager to see you. But you will meet her at 7 o'clock and not a minute earlier. New powers have come into play now. The powers that even a government inquisitor cannot oppose. We are only doing their bidding. What powers? You'll find that out if every person whose life has been in your hands for the last 12 days has a chance to say a word by the time there is one more hour before council is left. They'll all be fine by evening. Now that I've healed everyone.
Should I just give up?
Time's almost up. Your bound are alive and well. Come to the council. Fine. I will. If you tell Block yourself that you're on my side, the Inquisitor will be disarmed. See you at the Cathedral. Sorry, see you at the Cathedral, Leutnant. The Bachelor will come to the Cathedral. He will stand up for the Polyhedron if I allow him to make the ultimate decision. Should I? The tower is alive, one might say, what with the solo Simon forever sealed within it. Could it be that the Polyhedron is my Uduk? Today is the final day. You have less than 14 hours to make the right choice. Day 12, in which it finally becomes apparent what it was all about. Okay. No letters received yet. The letter from the powers that be. Ripper! We thought we should write, because you don't seem to be listening to what we tell you. You've gotten completely out of hand. As of late, you keep doing whatever you please. This is unacceptable. You are spoiling the game. If this letter reaches you in good time, do come to the polyhedron. They will let you inside. Keep your eyes tightly closed. Descend to the bottom and say, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. We'd like to have a little chat with you. The people who own you. It's interesting, though, too, because in Bachelor Route, when he is considering what, like, when you talk, because you can choose to be, like, a little more sympathetic when talking directly to Artemi or Clara, but, like, in his diary, he's, like, so just, like, why would I ever choose that? Yeah, that's the right choice. And, like, Artemi is, like, at the moment just kind of like, I don't know what the right choice is. I don't know. Which is interesting. He's just like, could it be that the polyhedron is my Odug? Like, I think he knows, no, it's not. But, like, at the same time, it's interesting that he's still even considering it, you know? Where? There it is. I was like, where the hell's Ruben? The bound of the changeling are alive and well. May she find comfort in that. She should have enough time to prepare her arguments for the proceedings. Yep.
If there's enough people like me, the town will stay the same. We'll surrender ourselves to Clara unregretted. A rotten life belongs to the new mistress.
Yeah, I am so excited to do Clara route. Y'all have no idea.
What?
Okay. Alright, now let's go talk to Notkin and Murky. And then we'll head to the polyhedron. Oh, we should talk to Clara as well. Well, I want to talk to Clara. Lots of just walking around at this part of the game. Then we'll go to the polyhedron.
They screwed my foot up. I can't walk on my own now.
So we'll have to fight for a power in a couple of years, you and I. Right? I wonder how that'll go. You'll be old enough already, though. You're already thinking about ousting me from power? Ain't you a quick lad? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Khan is the one I'm really after. Oh, that's the guy I'll have to meet head on. Khan will grow to inspire true terror. Has he really abandoned the ways of his family? Who'd have thought? Nina's son switching faith. What does he believe in now, by the way? Let's start with you. What are you standing up for? I'm not sure yet. The balance is constantly shifting. The disposition of forces will be different. It won't be like the previous standoff between the termites and the utopists. Capella has already considered everything. It's good that she's tamed Khan. We are sick and tired of utopias. Let us build a new world, a better one. I can already see the seeds of the future rebellion in you. It is you who will become the new utopist, Nukken.
My path was called Soul and a Halves. I wanted to create a tight brotherhood of children and animals.
I will become a spiritual leader. This is the power that's worth any army.
What have you got there? 2 more hands?
Will you stay with us? What for? A lot of things will change. I will actually stop living here. I'll have my own house. A house. The rod. I am destined to become the mistress of the earth. Katerina has failed, and I won't. That's what Capella says. Why do you think you'll succeed where Katerina has failed? Capella knows that for sure. She can see the future. In 10 years, I'll become a tall and slender beauty. I'll have white skin and dark ankle-long hair, or even longer. I will speak to the earth, perhaps even command it. I'll stay here just to see it.
Are you sure you're in good health? I'm glad.
Your confidants are alive and well. I'll be waiting for you in the council. If my confidants are alive, I will come to the council with you, and there won't be a single queen there that I won't be able to convince to my cause. But are you absolutely sure that they are alive? Do you really want me to come to the council? Come to the cathedral. I'll give you the right to decide. The changeling will come to the cathedral. She is adamant that she can perform some kind of miracle to protect us all. I have no proof of this possibility. Her miracle is an act of blind faith, and if I know anything about miracles, it's that they're too often rotten on the inside. He is still very skeptical of um, of Clara's solution. It's interesting. I wonder if she'll manage to convince them in her route. Like, she probably won't, but like, I am excited to play as Clara. I am so excited to play as Clara. She's gonna be such an interesting character to inhabit. Not allowed to talk to Khan. Okay. Everyone turns to look at me. Wrong way. Something down here? Yeah, they said go to the bottom, I think. Don't be upset. Being a toy is also nice. But why did you play it like this? We've been to a funeral. We've just come back from a cemetery, actually. Oh, I see. So who died on you? We won't tell you. In fact, it's all just fantasies anyway. No one's died. It just doesn't work like this. There is no death. Get it? Your game works exactly like this. Indeed. It was all a sandbox playing. The children who were playing there must have been on their way home from a funeral. A sorrowful game may have seemed an appropriate diversion for them. Or maybe they simply felt like their childhood was slipping away. One way or the other, the hero. The hero has been bitterly deceived. All this time, the hero took it to himself to be a living man who was trying to rescue his fellow human beings. Beyond doubt, this belief has filled him with fervor, helped him reach the finale, and even be somewhat triumphant. In vain, it was all in vain, the hero was but a puppet, striving to help the imaginary population of a town that was nothing more than a drawing. Strangely, there is still not a word to be heard from the powers that be. Perhaps they became bored of it all, or were called back home for supper. I'm afraid that you will never know if that's true. Look! Haruspex is here! He's so big. How did you find us? Oh, so lifelike. And so angry! I want you to tell me everything. No problem. What do you want to know? What diabolical game are you playing? Look, it's a magic sandbox. See how it reflects in the mirrors? It's because everything's for real there. Here's a town. We've made it out of sand. And here's an awful thing going on. An epidemic. So it's all crumbling. The town is falling apart. Well, we sent heroes there to fix it. How did you go about sending the heroes? It's rotting, see? Ugh. We hope you'd think of something. Mirrored and sand at least. They're magical too, you know, the heroes are. Take you, for example. Look how it all worked out. You used to be a doll and now you're alive. Perhaps the rest also work like this? Did you know that your dolls were alive? Everything's alive around here. It's the structure. It brings things to life. It's not like we're twisting anyone's arm. It just happens. All on its own. We only built the town. And then it became miraculous on their own. And the dolls. We just stuck the throwaway ones in. They were lame anyway. Oops. Sorry. Just don't you dare touch anything else around here. And don't stick anything there anymore. Oh. Letter from the makers. Please do come by to meet us at the theater if you have a spare minute. We'd like to have a rather inconsequential but mature talk with you. We apologize in advance for the inconvenience. The people who executed the whole thing. It is interesting, right? Like, the dialogue is the same, but I get a very different feeling from it. It's, yeah, like them being like... Because they're children, and that this is, like, the whole story is about, like, the Haruspex end of things. It's very much focused on these children going through a major... change in how they perceive themselves and the world around them, including the future of their world and who they are. A grand life-changing event occurs. It's interesting because it's like the game itself is about grief, right? But at the same time, I feel like Haruspex was like doused in it. Doused in like so much different types of grief, from creative grief to people you care about dying to stuff like that, like to being unable to complete what you want to complete and stuff. And like in this one, it's a different feeling. It's like, and I feel like also to an extent, like Artemi has grown up, right? Like he's older than his bound, but there is a level of like he is distant from the town. He's distant from everyone else around. It's just interesting. That's all. Yeah, I don't feel like the same. You know, like, yeah, like I think I do think there is just more hope in the Haruspex route, despite it being more difficult in certain aspects, right? Like, the Bachelor route is just so dour. It is really, really dour. Checking to see if they have dialogue.
Cost what it may, the tower should remain intact. The tower is clean.
Are you aware that we turned out to be toys? Really? You're kidding. Though, figuratively speaking, that is true after a fashion. We are all mere toys in the hands of Providence. No, Oyen. I mean literally. You are a toy. I am a toy. We are mere dolls made of rags, sawdust, whalebone, and hell knows what else. Have you gone mad? No. My eyes were opened. You have owners. They are children. The game they're playing with us is almost over. I hope my side wins. No. You lose. They don't love us, by the way. They're fed up with us. That's why we're stuck here. They've stuck us here. Very witty, Barack. Forget it. My laboratory is beckoning to me from the capital. I can't for too long entertain the thought of it also being a dollhouse. I am an adult man that has a responsibility to bear, you see. I invent medicine that helps with old age and death. Out of nuts, syrup, and sleeping pills stolen from the adults. Don't make me laugh. Enough. This isn't funny anymore. You fail to grasp anything at all. Like, you don't even talk to. Like, Dankovsky gets to talk to Clara about it. Daniel gets to talk to Clara about this. But he doesn't talk to Artemi. Artemi has no idea. In this one, it's like... Daniel has no idea, but like Artemi is still telling him. It's so interesting. There's just like... weird dolls that have been placed in here. I don't like... And he just... I feel like there's just like kind of... not necessarily like a deep upset like with Bachelor, but much more of a... just a deep sadness, I guess. Because it's like, I do think like... I mean... I think he recognizes to an extent that they were all puppets to an extent, but at the same time he's just like, I don't know, like I to say that it doesn't hit Artemi as hard as it hits Stankovsky would be wrong, I think, because I don't think that's true. But at the same time, I do believe that it is. I think it hits them in very different ways, because I think their stories their stories and the dialogue you have around it is different, right? Like, there is a level of hope here. There is a level of hope that is present in the dialogue with Artemis Bound, with the Haruspex Bound, but I doesn't really feel present in Dankovsky route. You know, there's like, I mean, I think part of it is like, again, like, the whole town is sick with grief, but some people more than others, right? The Kinds are sicker with grief than the Oglomitskys are, you know? Like, everybody else has their relationship with Simon, but like, you know, like, Simon was their family, you know? It's really interesting how the tone feels different, you know? I'm really curious of how Clara's route will go. What will the tone of it feel?
Yes?
Are you aware that we're toys? Of course I am! Were you not? How long were you aware of that? I'm aware of something else too, I am. Almost everyone else we've come across a couple days are toys. Honest to God, toys. But some creatures here are more intricate. Who? You and me, for example. You surely understand quite a lot about yourself. You feel a powerful will standing behind you, and I'm going to surprise you quite a lot. What would you have done if you knew beforehand? Huh. I would have acted more confidently. Little puppets we are, true. But it's not the puppet that matters, but whose hand controls it. Have you seen them? I have. They probably think themselves so big, think they're real human creatures, little baby kids, don't they? Aren't they? I wouldn't be so sure. I have a gut feeling about it. That's my knack. What can you do? Bachelor is probably still thinking he's a bachelor, doesn't he? He would have gotten on very well with those kids. I doubt that. It's interesting. Yeah, because you can't play Clara's route unless you play either Bachelor route or Harspec's route first. You have to play through the game once. And, like, if you play through the game once, her route will unlock and you get this sort of... Huh. I am. And so, like, I'm curious of what the changeling route will bring, because it has to play under the assumption that you... Like, I hope it takes into effect the assumption that you kind of already know what's going on, which is fun. Like, you can't assume people who... Because you can play either Harspecs or Bachelor first, right? So you can play either one of them, and all of that stuff. But with Changeling, you have to have the foreknowledge of the rest of the game. I'm curious. I am so interested. Come in, good sir. They are waiting for you. Whoa, you are uncannily polite. The hero is a doll, but so are the children. The real game is what's happening between you and us. I cannot leave Haruspeck's body. You are imposing your limits upon me. Haruspeck has lost his battle for freedom since the very day he was born. What about you? Haruspeck is in my hands and nothing more. I wanted to see if I could make it. That's what we're interested in as well. Can you make it or can you not? Can you make... what, exactly? Could you not have made it? I've made it. I've managed to destroy your poisonous evil that has spread thin across the world. Was the disease the true evil, though? The disease is only a method. The evil's weapon, just like a scalpel, is yours. The disease will go devouring itself. Then there will be war, famine, hearsay. Was it really worth the effort? Look around. All this, for a single wretched town. No, it was the town that has been built for you, not the other way around. We apologize if it's been a disappointment. So you're curious as to what fate I will choose for the town? We have to make sure we have to make sure that it truly is you who's making the decision. Are you absolutely positive that your choice is not predetermined by anyone or anything? Could it have been otherwise? Oh, absolutely. When every step you take has been predicted, you are either still free to either take it or not. When it has been foreseen, however, you remain a mere puppet in someone else's hands. Being my puppeteer is a good way to it's way too good a position for you. Good. If it really was you, the only enemy, the only evil in the story, you see, is called inevitability. I will be the one to say the final word. Please don't feel obliged to do anything. Who are you talking to? You see how fat our fortune is? We had put our hopes in you. We poor actors were hoping you'd become the director of a new show. The old one has been beaten to death. But you turned out to be a doll. That was a blow for me, too. I thought I was a human being. You don't have to do any of this. Who are you talking to? I know. I did like a fair bit of dialogue with this one before. This time I did this one, so. Boink. Alright. So with that, what time is it? 1300. So let's take a sleepy at the Oglamitsky's and then make our way to the cathedral for the end of the game. Okay, 1300, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then we'll make our way. Agalia's letter. Our fate will be decided today. There are so many things I want to tell you, but would never dare to utter. I'd rather not write to you at all than influence your decision. The one thing I am fully convinced of is your father's inheritance, denoted by the sign of the Urdug, is the town itself, a settlement made of 3 parts: earth, the knots, and the stone yard. Everything else I would expect you to know already. We won't see each other before the council. This is how it has to be. Whatever you choose, I will understand it. Come, harspects. The assembly is waiting your decision. The queens of this chessboard are in a deadlock. They have each other pinned down. The game may well may end in a tragic stalemate. You are the pawn that has become a queen. Finish the endgame. Let me through.
Cost what it may, the tower should remain intact. The tower is clean.
I see the Inquisitor lady has charmed you into submission. You shouldn't trust her. She'll take full advantage of us all, including you. What did she ever do to you? She lied to me. Fooled by her, I was acting on her prompts for the last few days. I've encouraged others to do the same. My discovery has been reinterpreted and presented in a fashion that has turned truth into lies. I have been violated. So what? You think you're in a better position? She has simply chosen a different tactic for each of us. She has abused my fate, my hate and anger. She's abused your love and sense of commitment. I wonder what she did to get to Clara. If she found the changeling worthy of her schemes at all. If you are still fooled by her, how come you speak so confidently? What if it is also part of her plan? It was lucky enough to reveal her plots. I think that's because I'm... And what do you suggest? I think we should finish her. Block is a tool in our hands, but we are still her tools. I've heard this all before. I am not a tool, Oinen. I can tell you that with utmost certainty.
I'm tired. I've had enough.
I make my own choices. Then why did you bring me here at all? I don't get it. I'm giving you solid advice and you are not listening. You'll find out soon enough.
What?
Well, are you planning to make up your mind anytime soon? I would still like to know how you're going to keep the town intact. Barack, what are you saying? I told you, it's my secret. I will only reveal that to the queens. General Alexander will never compromise, you know that full well. And if I can't persuade Agalia that mine is the way to purge the world of the plague, then nothing happens at all. What is to happen will happen. It seems you have a strong influence on Block. Even if I mesmerize him, he won't forget his procedure. Don't worry, I'll tell the queens everything. Separately, of course, but not to you. I don't want you to see my secret become gossip all too quickly. Aren't you afraid of telling the queens? My choice demands that they destroy one another, Burak. It's all taken care of. Don't you worry. Now that's some news. My choice is full of surprises, Burak. Or did you really think that this little dilemma of yours was unavoidable? An either-or thing? Look at you talking. It's like you're a different person. Perhaps it's not the same me that you knew before. There is more than one me. A lot, perhaps. We've all got the same pretty face, but who knows whose will be behind it now, whose will is behind it right now. Enough.
Neither the town nor the tower have to be sacrificed. Everything can be saved.
What happens to Agalia? Agalia will die. Can you make it so that she lives? No. I have no power over that. This is a mandatory part of my plan. Who else will die? Look, there is no need for prying. You'll make it. Don't worry. You imprudent girl. You are naive to speak as if you've won already.
They've grown up and grown tired of me.
You are the one to make the choice. Yours shall be the mouth to utter my words now. My lips are sealed. So you were the sacrifice I was supposed to make? I was. If I am captured and taken off the board, then the commander will be free to make his move. If you choose Capella's path, then I'll live. If you choose Clara or Bachelor's path, then you'll lead me into the scaffold and fulfill your purpose. How does Capella's path save you? Speak to her yourself, but she's the only one who can help you keep this town alive, and this is essential for saving me. What is the price of the solution? You know the answer. The polyhedron, the cause of the plague, will be destroyed. That is what Alexander Block demanded. He has to spend some ammo for his report. The town will survive. That is my pardon warrant. This is how you fulfill your destiny. But the sacrifice? The destruction of the polyhedron is quite an adequate sacrifice. The butchers may bar you from reaching the blood, but you'll be able to take it on your own. Although, I should refrain from offering you any advice. My advice is dangerous. I must think now.
They've grown up and grown tired of me.
And that means what? We are all toys? Exactly. Yes, exactly. Not a pleasant surprise. I thought I was a person. I didn't know myself at first either. My only advantage was that their mother took me to bed with her when she was young. I know many things they don't. So you are older than me? I never thought about it. It's not like we have age. New ones are better than the old, that much I know for certain. But they restuffed me not long ago. They made me a new dress, see? That probably makes you a bit older than me. What did we ever do to them? Me? They hate me. And I loved them so dearly all my life. When they were still little babies, I dreamt about how they will grow up one day and finally start playing with me. Instead, they loathed me from the very start. Was it because their mother wanted them to like me? And the plague, is this a game they play? No. The town is a toy, but the plague is real. Go outside, walk the streets, you'll see. Their make-believe has nothing to do with it. They are scared to death themselves. They just came home from a funeral. I don't even know who died yet. Maybe that's the real cause of all of this? I refuse to believe that.
It will be as you choose.
Were you really lying to me? I never told you the whole truth. Is that a lie? No.
Yes.
So you're a
Even
product of
like a pine
imagination?
on the way.
A made-up illusory creature. You don't exist. You have a fate, but not a future. Who said that? I can hear the voice, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it is the voice of my beloved. You misheard. Doesn't matter. Keep looking at the haruspex. It's a nice model.
It will.
It's me, the player. Want to chat? No, I don't. I want to be Barack. Go away. Did you fall in love with him because he was free? But that wasn't him, it was me. When I leave, he'll turn into a stuffed dummy, same as everyone else around you. Really? Yes. Get out of here, Scram! I won't talk to you anymore. I need my haruspex. As you wish.
My path was my namesake, was called Capella. Were it not for the plague, I would have spread a heathen cult among the children. Then parents would have lived forever.
So the people I have told you about are alive after all, are they not? Why do you think that my victory is impossible without them? You wanted to protect the town, didn't you? But the Udug is a living being. It's a body that contains the world. And do you really think that the world can exist without activity inside? Who is going to govern it? Who will paint it in different colors, tints, and shades? I will distribute these roles among the children when they come of age. Tell me what the children I've saved are going to do until then. The Mother Superior will start managing the kin right away. You don't really understand their day-to-day life, do you? You can rule and guide knowledge. It will be the Paul of Melishit in black. Go on. Notkin will be a scout, exploring the steppe for now. He will also keep an eye on the warehouse and the station. We will have to start communicating with the big world soon. Red gold will be his color. Who else? Murky will look after street improvements. The town must look pretty. I will also assign her to be in charge of the water supply and the sewage. She will become the lilac mistress. Very nice. Sticky will be in charge of commerce. He'll be the chief merchant, controlling all the shops in town and making sure everyone has everything they need. He will become a ruler later, just like all the other boys you've saved. His power will be of amber color. Right. Grace will keep doing her job. She will bury the Dade. They have a whole realm of their own, you know, and they need a caring hand too. She will be a beige mistress. The most valuable aspect of this color is the subtle shade of dawn, a little nuance of pink and lemon. And who will be the head of all this? We will enter a marriage with Khan. This will put an end to the enemy of disagreements of our families. We will restore the harmony of ruling. I will become a mistress and do what my mother used to. Khan with his emery of dark heads will rule the town. I'll make him white, as am I. As I am. So that's what the town is going to be like now.
Father has been a...
My arms are stiff.
So, Barak the Healer. Your father used to be the leader of the local caste community, which is important to me. It was neither greed nor plotting nor circumstance that has informed your choice, but your conscience alone. I have been given orders to level everything here, but that is not necessary. I am willing to trust your judgment, risking my life and honor, for I am merciful. Where shall I point the weapon? You only have to destroy the polyhedron to put an end to the disease spreading. There is no point in raising the whole town. So there is a certain deposit beneath the town that would make you enough panacea? Rumor has it it's blood? Indeed. How do you prove that the choice is sensible? Here are my arguments. The panacea, the evidence of an underground blood deposit that feeds the town, my rightful and supported claim to take this blood. I've seen a report claiming that it is the kin will not let you have this blood unless you kill the Inquisitor. Is that true? It is. How are you going to kill her? I'm not. We will destroy the tower. The blood will pour out of the tear in the ground. That will be enough. True. That's what I've been told. Victoria Oglemitskaya, styled the White Mistress despite her young age, confirmed that you are capable of accomplishing this goal. The people you have saved support your claim. Act, then. The cannons will rumble at 10 to 12. Evacuate the children from there by 10. It will be taken care of. Algalia will give orders. This is my choice. Let's see. I have made my choice. I have decided what the offering will be. Agalia will live. The powers that be have nothing to hold against her now that the cure for the sand plague has been found. It's of no importance to me that the kin will think of my choice. If my refusal to offer a human being as sacrifice means that they won't let me anywhere near the veins of the Udug, I will find a different source of blood of which to make the panacea. The polyhedron on which brought down the rivers of blood will sprout from the gaping hole that is left by the foundation. The prophecy was fulfilled. The lines have led me to this place, where my path as a warden will commence. My father would be proud of me, I think. Any choice is right as long as it's willed. This is how it is.
You did it? It was a free choice. We acknowledge the victory of the player.
It is indeed miraculous. The exit is clear. It shouldn't have happened. The miracle must be real.
Alright, so that's it for the horror specs route of Pathologic Classic HD. I'm still a really huge fan of this game. I do think the storytelling is still really, really good, and it's... Pathologic is a good game. I think I can say that for sure. Is it rough to play a lot? Sure, yeah. But it also doesn't really matter that much, and also I like the game. Next time, my plan is to I'm going to play Anthology of the Killer. Then I will be playing Alan Wake's American Nightmare, and then we'll do the Changeling route of this game and finish off Pathologic Classic HD. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing after that, but, you know, I have time, and we'll get there one way or another. If judging by the Bachelor and Harspect routes, I bet the Changeling route is also going to be pretty long, so... but, you know, we'll reconvene next time with a new game, and then after the little break, we'll get back to Changeling and see what the hell is going on there. But with that being said, that's it for today, and I hope you all have a great one. Bye!